Welcome, friends. Today, we're doing another first impressions video. Again. And the house we are doing our first impressions of this time is the house of Affenescence. So I bought the Discovery set from this house after them being recommended by a few people in the chat. Sorry, chat. I can't remember who recommended it, but there was more than one, you know. There was a few, which was nice. And so here we are. There are 6 fragrances in this set. So we'll do 3 today, and we'll do 3 another day. Because I don't want to get overloaded, and I don't want each video to run on too long. But I'm keen to start. I have many sample sets to get through. After this, I have... Oh, well, I'll tell you then when we come to them. But I've got about 3 or 4 sample sets to get through. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying trying these fragrances and sampling stuff and showing you how I go about, how I have refined my process, you know, to getting to the point where I buy things. In the last series, we tried Iris parfums, which I ended up buying MXXX, which I have promptly found is limited edition. And you know what that means? That means fear of missing out. And that means I might have to buy another one, which I don't want to because it is not cheap. Nothing's cheap at the minute, is it? Everything's fucking expensive as shit. But anyway, never mind that. This sample set wasn't expensive as shit, though. It wasn't a bad price. I'll have to check what price it was because I don't have that information off the top of my head. I don't have much on the top of my head, to be honest with you. But there we are. We will get ourselves started by opening this. Ooh. There we are. Right, you go there. So, the samples we will be trying, we'll go from left to right. And this is a handy little booklet. So, this is apparently the Base Notes collection. And it comes in 3 languages. I assume that is Japanese. But I don't read characters, to my eternal shame. But while I'm pulling the first 3 out, I will read you the little bit of literature that there is at the beginning of this booklet. Born out of the creator's passion for base notes, this art perfume collection has been created exclusively from essences that are traditionally used as base notes. The quintessence of perfumery, these profound, powerful, and long-lasting notes have been showcased as never before to produce genuine, sensual signatures capable of stirring each of our senses in addition to their breathtaking trail. The sample vials themselves are good, so that's a good start. I like that. They're not those bloody crappy bloody samples that everybody uses, that the sprayer on them is diabolical. You know? So, good start. Right. So what do we have here? We have Vanille Benjoin, Santal Basmati, and Cedre Iris. Sure, I've smelled Cedar and Iris before. Cedar and Iris, that's like infusion of Iris Cedra by Prada. I think I smelled that yesterday. Still nice. Anyway, first off, we're going to try a Vanille Benjoin. I nearly said bourbon again there. So what do we have? What does it say? To showcase this exceptional marriage, Affenescence has combined 2 types of vanilla, Madagascan Vanilla Absolute, intensely fragranced with leather overtones and the sweet scent of Tahitian Vanilla Absolute, and blended them with an exquisite alter ego, Siamese Benzoin, a fragrant resin originating in Laos, highly valued for its balsamic and almond notes. As ambroxan, oh dear. As ambroxan enfolded in tonka bean and Moroccan and Chinese cedar exudes its carnal notes, the benzoin transcends the vanilla with its intoxicating scent as if to better diffuse its spellbinding trail. Well, obviously the bogey word there is ambroxan in it, you know what I mean? But not every fragrance that's got ambroxan in is shit. Not all of them, but I don't like it when ambroxan's used as a note. Do you know what I mean? When they're like, when a brand proudly says, "Here is ambroxan, smell and behold." Because I will smell and behold, but you won't like the reaction. But we'll see. We'll see. There are definitely fragrances with ambroxan in that I like. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. Because it's a note used that widely, but it's usually used as like a fixative or like a bit like an isoe super, you know? I'm getting this already. Let's have a smell then, shall we? That is not bad. That is very vanilla and very benzoin. It reminds me of Cristobal by Balenciaga, if you've ever smelled that. That's a very benzoin, vanillic kind of note. This has got a Rive Gauche kind of smooth shaven foam kind of vibe going on. It doesn't smell like Rive Gauche, but it's got that kind of warm, creamy vibe about it. Very nice, actually. Very pleasant. Something almost chocolatey. Almost chocolatey. Usually when something like that happens, I feel like I've smelled these notes used with like the chocolate note in this case. So you know when you think, "Ooh, I'm expecting chocolate to come next," and then it doesn't. Usually what that indicates to me is that I've smelled these notes before in conjunction with chocolate, and that's like the next, like from memory, that's the next step I would make. That is not bad. I do not hate that at all. Let's see what Fragrantica's got to say. Launched in 2015, the nose behind this fragrance is Corinne Cachin. Siam benzoin, Tahitian vanilla, Madagascan vanilla, tonka bean, Moroccan cedar, Chinese cedar. Those two cedars are far apart. Ambroxan and leather. That is actually very nice. It's definitely got this freshness, so it feels like the benzoin is like, it's got this little bit of like a little bit more sort of like resiny than like vanilla goes. You know, like a little bit more like I want to say syrupy, but syrupy is not the right word. It's along those lines though. It's got this kind of creamy, that's the word I'm looking for, creamy. Not shaven cream, that kind of like consistency. There's air in it too though. It's very nice. It reminds me of Cristobal Balenciaga though, which could go against it because I've got Cristobal Balenciaga. But I wouldn't mind putting that on my skin. I am not offended by that whatsoever. I have tried to be less harsh on vanilla perfumes recently because they are everywhere, and I feel like I've always been like, "Oh, these are everywhere. Screw them because they're everywhere." But I'm trying to be a little bit more open-minded now. Next, though, we are moving on to Santal Basmati. And the booklet says, of the diverse qualities of sandalwood album essence remains both the most wonderful and the rarest, Affenescence has combined to its infinitely sensual carnal milky notes with basmati, one of the most fragrant varieties of rice in the world. I knew I'd heard that word before. Bold and exquisite, this close-knit duo is entwined with a lacy layer of patchouli, iris and cashmeran. I wouldn't be shouting about using these fucking synthetics when you're using these wonderful... That said, I mean, that last one wasn't bad. Anyway, forming a bewitching perfume that leaves an addictive, classy trail. Interesting. Three on a stick. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Not huge on this. Smells nice, but it isn't half familiar. I get the basmati thing though. It sounds a very strange thing to say, you know, like I've smelled rice notes before. But let's see what Fragrantica's got to say. Who's the perfumer? So this was also released in 2015, and the nose behind this fragrance is Alexandra Carlin. Another lady, I believe. I like this. So I like this fragrance. This fragrance is nice. But I'm not... So I don't want you to think that it doesn't smell nice, because it does. But much like vanilla, sandalwood is almost ubiquitous in perfume. And if you're going to have a collection, if you're interested in perfumes, do you need this sandalwood? If you don't have any others, check it out. Right? But it's got to be pretty fucking special for me to go out and buy a sandalwood forward perfume now. I have vintage Samsara with the real Mysore sandalwood in. So that's what you've got to beat. Right? And does this beat it? No, it does not. Not on first impression anyway. But it is very nice. It is very nice. It is very nice. The iris goes well with it. That little bit of patchouli gives it like this almost... It's not earthy, it's not green, it's like a brown syrup. Like imagine like a patchouli syrup. A patchouli... Imagine patchouli on the air, you know? It's very pleasant. These have both been very pleasant so far. I like that. That's nice. God, I hope not all of them are like this, or I'll have to try them all on skin. Can you imagine? Jesus Christ. Anyhow, lastly but not least, we have Cedre Iris. Oh, by the way, I like the bottles. The bottles give me a slight Serge Lutens vibe, and that's never a bad thing. So the blurb says, Affenescence has selected 3 natural essences of cedar, Moroccan Atlas, Texas, and Virginia, and blended them with precision to enhance the vibrancy of the most precious and refined natural ingredient, Pallida Iris or Florentine Iris, Pallida Iris or Florentine Iris Absolute. A drop of benzoin and a dash of myrrh mellow and soften this woody, powdery base with their tender caress, while Gaiac wood, bolstered by incense, turns its natural restlessness into an almost electric energy. This is a fragrance that will stir the senses to their very depths, with its breathtaking infusion of sophisticated, intensely lingering scent and musky sensitivity. These are good. Like, I like the samples, like the physical sample. These are all eau de parfums, I think, as well, you know? So, let's Cedre Iris. Last, but not least, let's have a look. See what fragrance I guess trying to tell us, because the booklet doesn't tell you who the perfumers are. I don't like that. So yes, you instantly get that that iris, slightly a floral, above ground iris. It's not like a rooty, waxy iris. Maybe there's a little bit of waxiness, just a little bit though. But it feels airy. It feels like there's air in there, which is nice. Oh my God, what am I doing? Cedre Iris. So apparently the perfumer behind this is Nicolas Bonneville, who I have never heard of before. And for some reason, somebody's decided to start fucking hoovering. And they keep changing their mind. The cedar in this is quite nice. This does have the smell of Dior Homme. You'll smell this iris and you'll smell this Dior Homme in particular. It's like a fresh, crisp iris. The later versions of Dior Homme are more of like a laid-back, billowous, powdery kind of iris. The original one's a lot fresher in my opinion. A lot more taut. This iris is definitely like the Florentine iris. Very nice. Oh, these are nice. I like these. I don't know what prices these go for, which is probably a good thing. I'm not going to look up the price. But these are good fragrances and I like them. There is a bit of like a little bit of a resinous vibe here, which is lovely, you know. If you've ever smelled Florentine Iris by Ramengildo Zegna, it's got that kind of iris, like airy iris, not a dense, thick, waxy sort of iris. It's got this like I said, above ground sort of iris vibe, you know. Sorry about the hoovering, but Hoover's gonna hoover. This is good though. If you think I'm stopping a 20-minute video after 17 minutes because somebody started hoovering, you are distinctly mistaken. Because I don't do editing, if you hadn't noticed, which I'm sure you have. Unless I listen to this back and it's vile. I like this. The cedar gives it this freshness and stops it from getting too thick. I might have to try all of these on skin. What a nightmare. Anyway, I'll go back over these quickly and I will get out of your hair. This has dried down and gone very soft, but it's still got that kind of freshness from the ambroxan in it. This is ambroxan not used offensively. You know? Like, I am not offended by this ambroxan. And if I could be offended by ambroxan, I would be. Oh, it's lovely. It's very pleasant. It's very pleasant. Santal Basmati. That's very pleasant as well. That's really nice. There's something of the Affenescence about these because they're very light. They're very airy. They're done with a very light touch. You know, that's in the mid now. Very nice. And this, it's got touches of Prada. It's an Italian iris. That, you know, it's a light iris. It's a fresh iris. It's very attractive. They're all very nice. I've been very, very impressed, actually. Very nicely impressed. So that was nice. I've enjoyed doing this video. And I will be back possibly tomorrow to do the other 3. Then I'll try them on skin. Or the ones that I want to try on skin anyway. So we'll see. Thanks very much, everybody. I will see you all again soon. Bye.